Hey, Amanda's a very nice girl. She's kind of standing there by herself.
Man with an overall with a gun. Shoot. Maybe he's referencing all the people he's killed.
Yeah.
I'm getting like really shaky and I feel really weak right now.
Okay.
Well,
Do you want to come back down? Come back down.
Okay? Yeah, you're safe. I feel weak, like your whole body is shivering.
Yeah.
Back off. You do not have permission. You back off.
Let's just go. Let's take her back down and help.
My name is Amanda Watson. I've been a paranormal investigator for about 5 years on and off, but I've been having experiences ever since I was a small child. So I'm one of the original cast members from Behind the Shadows. The most profound experience I've ever had has been here, right here in these woods. So the woods I'm standing in right now are right behind the Hinsdale House in Hinsdale, New York. And I was here about 5 years ago investigating right in this spot. I was asked to step slightly away from the group with a K2 meter and an ovulus. So the ovulus was displaying words as I was asking questions, and I asked questions along the lines of how many people are here, and words like zoo were coming up, like giving me the indication there were many, many spirits here. And then the word shoot came up and I collapsed. I could not control any muscle in my body. They all felt like rubber. I felt like I was being squeezed. I couldn't breathe, and I needed to leave. I had to be helped down the hill in order to get back down to the house. I felt like I had absolutely no control over what I was doing, like my body. I couldn't move. I couldn't do anything to protect myself. So to be back in a spot where something attacked me, where I couldn't defend myself, is pretty scary for me. My hopes in coming back here is to finally get some peace with what's happened, because it has been following me for the past 5 years, and this house has literally been calling me back. Like, I've had dreams, I've had things happen in my home, and I just sense that, like, I need to come back and I need to make peace with whatever this is that did this to me, or whatever happened, or just confront it. Well, I think being back on the team is going to be a great thing. I'm really excited about that, because this is something I'm very passionate about, and I am really excited that we have a young investigator, because somebody who is that young that's into the paranormal, I really connect with them, because I had a lot of paranormal experiences when I was younger and nobody ever believed me. So for her to have like a team she can come to and investigate with and have all that support is just amazing to me, and I'm really happy to be invited to be on a team that's that supportive.
My name is Amy with Para Expeditions and Ramblings, Readings, and Reiki. I'm both a paranormal investigator, a Reiki master, an empath, a spiritual advisor, and just an all-around energy worker. My first experiences coming to the house was everything seemed off balance. The setting is peaceful, it looks serene, but when you come inside, it's completely dark, heavy, and foreboding at times. I really feel that the house needs healing, both inside and outside. My experiences with the land are completely different than what I feel I encounter inside the house. When I'm here, I feel it's my responsibility when I'm working with guests to keep everybody protected and educated on what to expect when working with the paranormal, how to be skeptical and observant at the same time. I always feel like this house tries to oppress me, like it tries to take my voice. I've worked in locations for several years on end. This is the only house that I feel like I've never really made a deep soul connection with any of the spirits that reside here, except for on the property, up the hill, where I keep hearing that we need healing, we need peace, we need closure. It's my mission, each and every time I come here, to offer some healing to the land. kindness, compassion, to be a good listener, and be observant of what the spirits and the land are telling me. We've started an offering tree, a friendship tree up the hill with Para Expeditions, so the guests can pay their respects and maybe look at the spiritual world in a different light. See the spirits for living human beings and souls that had wants, desires, needs, and that those feelings and needs and wants are still just as important in the afterlife as when they were living. What I feel when I'm on the hillside is a strong Native American presence and their love of the land, their love of energy. I feel there was a lot of bloodshed and a lot of sorrow in the end times for them here. I feel there's still to this day sometimes some disrespect or confusion or a lack of understanding. Being that Becca is very young, it's gonna be a battle for me because I'm gonna have that motherly instinct, just like I do with anybody that hasn't had many paranormal experiences or hasn't investigated for a long period of time. I will do my best to make sure that she understands grounding while staying open to her environments, knowing when her limits are, knowing where her comfort levels are, and to be open-minded, to look for answers in the middle of all the uncertainty as she goes to hunt, to make sure that she's feeling comfortable and safe in her surroundings and that she trusts her team. That's really important, that she feels comfortable with the team members that she has around her as well. It's hard to talk about my most terrifying experience here. It kind of shook my faith system and my belief, and it also upped my spiritual practices. I encountered a very dark individual in the basement of the Hinsdale House. I felt very oppressed. I felt like I couldn't breathe. It was almost as if somebody 7 foot tall was standing over me, screaming in my face the entire time and calling me names, threatening to do me bodily harm. He didn't want to connect with me on a soul level. He didn't want me to be kind. He didn't want me to be compassionate. And he told me that he didn't like me here because I keep trying to make the place happy. And that's fucked up. I felt terrified. I felt that I didn't take my safety seriously, which is something really hard for me to talk about because I do try to ground myself each and every investigation and bring in my sources that keep me protected. I felt out of my wheelhouse. It was the very first time that I think I've encountered something that isn't human. And it's still hard for me to come here even though I'm here all of the time. All right, so what I'm gonna do is light a few candles and get us centered, grounded, and protected before we start investigating. Basically, to get us all on the same frequency, grounded while we're staying open, it's important to stay connected to this realm as we ask to connect with the higher realms. Before we begin our investigation, I want to get us on the same wavelength. I want to get us grounded, protected, and open to the other realms that we're about to ask to communicate with us. So at this time, if you could take off your shoes to help with the grounding, that would be great. When we investigate, we're gonna have fun and be serious at the same time. This time is really about being serious because you're gonna be calling in what keeps you feeling protected while you're connecting to unseen forces and inviting them to interact with you. So if we could all just close our eyes. And when I ask you to, please take a deep breath in. We're gonna hold it for 2, and when we exhale, it's important that we let go of any of the outside residual noise that we carry with us, worries, stress, fears. We don't want to bring that in clouding any of our judgment or giving power to anything to influence us while we investigate. So if you could take a deep breath in with me. As we exhale, release those worries, those stresses. Let them sink into the ground. The ground can handle that energy and transmute it. Another deep breath in. Exhale. Last deep breath in. Make sure to push out any stress or outside influence that might distract you. Okay. At this time, I'm actually going to come around with Palo Santo and kind of open up your heart chakra a little, get that energy stirring and moving so that you can bring in your guides, your angels, whatever faith system that you have, your protecting spirits, to kind of get your back while we're doing the investigation. I ask that your heart chakra be open and expanded to form a perfect bubble around you. May this soul bring in his protecting spirits to guide him. I ask that your heart chakra be stirred, open, and form a protective bubble around you. May this soul bring in her protective spirits to help guide her. I ask that this person's heart chakra's energy be stirred and opened and expand around her so that she may bring in her protective forces to guide her. I ask that this soul's heart chakra be stirred and open so that she can form a perfect bubble around her to bring in her protective spirits to help guide her. Now you're grounded, your heart chakra is expanded. We also want you to be open to the higher realms and communication. So I'm going to swirl the pendulum counterclockwise and ask that your crown chakra be open and accepting of messages that are about to be received. I lit the candles to draw you near. I use my words so that you can hear. I invite each and every one of these souls to walk with us at Hinsdale tonight. Grace us with your presence, and on your past, shed a little light. We thank you for your participation, and with the sound of these 3 bell chimes, may our 2 worlds combine. I ask that the spirits of the deck and my guides show us what type of investigation we'll have tonight. So the type of investigation that we're going to have, this is the 7 of Pentacles, is we're going to hear about some financial strifes of previous owners, some struggles, concerns, and this kind of goes along with what I was picking up earlier when I was walking on the grounds about someone that formerly lived here, and I will kind of conduct the investigation and ask some questions along those lines later. When I was shuffling, a card also fell to the ground, which I will kind of go with too. If a card jumps out, that means it needs acknowledged. And this one is the Queen of Pentacles. So this really has to do with some money struggles and some troubles, and I'm gonna kind of lead my investigation questions along that route because I feel that it led to a lot of strife, perhaps even violence for someone here.
So what's really interesting about the cards you pulled having to do with money problems and things like that is last evening, when we were here doing an investigation, there was a family that lived here previously to the Danley family who had a barn on the property. And we were over near the foundation and we were communicating with some type of spirit there that we actually were getting answers coming through saying that they burned down the barn. So one of the thoughts could have been that they were trying to get some type of insurance payout, maybe something along those lines. So it was really interesting to see that cards came up.
Okay.
Which we actually, by the tree, they answered that question for us. They did say that it was for insurance money.
Okay, that's really cool because I caught like a middle-aged man over there is actually who I was picking up on, and he kept saying, "I'm so very tired." And it was just about, he was at the end of his rope with, "I don't know what I'm supposed to do here." Yeah, I'm looking forward to investigating over in that area.
Okay, so we're back in the woods now. I was here a little over 5 years ago, I think it was. I was about 19 years old, very close to Becca's age, actually. I was investigating here with the original group of Behind the Shadows. Yes, I was. And I was asked to go in that direction, step away from the group, just to see if I could, as an individual, as somebody who's open and a girl, interact with anything out there that might feel more safe coming to me. Instead, what happened was I had an ovulus in my hand, and the ovulus started to go off with a bunch of different words that were sort of relevant to what I was asking. And mainly what I was asking was if there was a man who had killed people in these woods, and if those bodies were still here, if those spirits were still here. And the word that came up with was zoo. So I figured I tied that to, it's a zoo back here with all of the people around. And then the word that came up was shoot. And the second that word came up onto the ovulus's screen, my body just went out from underneath me. All of my muscles were like rubber. I couldn't move, I could barely breathe. I felt like I was being squeezed, and I felt very threatened. I had to actually be escorted back down the hill to the house before I felt okay. So that's why I think protection is a very important thing. I'll just
And that's actually very interesting in regards to one of Kat's experiences the first time you came here, right?
Yeah, my first time ever here, we didn't come up here at all, but in the house, had a really intense experience in the living room. I was getting touched on my back, making like almost like throwing up, or felt like I was going to throw up. So we decided to cut the session and walk outside. We had NVR cameras set up in the kitchen facing towards Michael's room, and we caught it on camera, a very similar thing that you described. You can see something just completely knock out my knees. I saw everything went black, and next thing I knew is Tom and our other member at the time was like carrying me outside.
It's a truly scary experience.
Yeah, I had no idea what
And
happened.
then I wonder if this could be the same spirit that can come up here into the woods and then into the house. But not to alarm any of you, while you all were talking about your experiences, something has been rubbing my arm. Like I
Let's
can
hope it's a comforting thing.
feel it like
You know?
going through the hair on my arm. Like it's like lightly doing that.
I think just watching other people's investigation styles through the years, I don't want the terrifying experiences. Sometimes we get them whether we ask for them or not. But I want to make sure that I'm offering open lines of communication and a more friendly kind of environment for interactions.
Yeah, I was getting this going up to yellow and orange.
And that's what I mean. Like it's if you're more conversational and you're relaxed and you're more inviting for them, it's approachable.
Yeah.
Because if you think about when we were talking to a living person and you come at them combatively, usually what comes back at you is even stronger. So
I think it would be a really good time now to start investigating and trying
absolutely, I think it sounds good.
So you've got a K2 meter right in your hand, right? You said it was spiking.
Yep, definitely was.
I did see some spikes.
So what other equipment do we have with us?
I have an EDI that will show the EMF readings, just like the K2. It'll flash blue. The brighter the blue, the stronger the EMF hit. And then the orange will be vibration. So.
I also have a spirit box with us, the same one we used yesterday. It's called the Jellyfish, so if you want to use that as well, that's also open.
And I put a paranormal music box over on that stump as well.
Yes.
So basically, if anything crosses that beam, it's going to play a musical tone.
And then we have a REM pod cat that I have used in the woods before during investigations. That if you get close to it, it'll play some tunes. So it's only if basically you saw I had to pretty much touch it. So it'll be interesting to see if that goes off. And a static meter if any of the energy changes around it.
Okay, cool. So what do you want to start with first?
Why don't we start with asking questions using the K2s since they seem to be going off and mine is spiking to yellow at the moment.
Okay.
Okay, so it looks like we have somebody here with us. Yes, we do.
Red.
Can you please come back and touch my K2 meter again? I'd like to speak with you. Have you been here trying to make your presence known by touching some of us? No, you don't want to talk to me. That's okay. Maybe you want us to talk to somebody else.
Maybe we can introduce ourselves so they know each of our names.
Yeah.
So go ahead and start.
I'm Amanda. I'm here just with the intent to talk to you. I mean you absolutely no harm. I don't want to disturb you. My intent is not to make you leave or anything like that. I just am here out of curiosity. I'd like to know who you are as well.
I'm Becca. I'm here peacefully, and I just hope to get to learn to know you and your story and to learn all this equipment.
I'm Amy, and I'm here once again to get to communicate with you for the opportunity to do so and to understand more and how to better serve this land.
And I'm Kat, back again. I feel like I'm here every week lately. Same intents as always, just to get to know you better and learn your stories so we can share them.
Getting flashes of blue on the EDI box.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, I want to make sure I was actually seeing it. Yeah, it's definitely, it's actually a vibration is going off too.
I hear the beep too.
I'm just beeping.
All right, so to finish real quick, I'm Tom, as always, and I'm same as everybody else here. Just to get to know you, learn your story a bit, maybe communicate a bit and get to talk to you.
All right, so that's who we are. We want you to feel comfortable, safe, and you can also let us know too. I always like to give you guys an out if there's ever a time that, you know, we've stayed past our welcome, that you can let us know so too.
There is a device that's on top of that tree that if you stand or walk near it, it'll play a musical tone. That would also let us know you're here with us.
I think they like the blue lights better.
I think they do like the blue lights.
Yeah.
Is blue your favorite color?
Are you familiar with that device? Can you make it beep twice for yes?
Are you able to shake that stump a bit to get the vibration sensor to go off? It's the orange light at the bottom of the device. If you shake that stump, it'll light up.
Maybe we should try giving them another way to talk to us.
Let's try the jellyfish.
Okay.
I'm gonna actually also set this down, unless you
I
want
think
to
that might be a good idea.
we
I'm
should
getting
put it
some
on the
spikes again here.
Yeah, so was
Yeah.
I actually at the same time you were.
I do think there is somebody here with us right now. I think they're really shy.
Yeah.
Kind of gives me
Yeah.
the indication that they might be a child.
I mean, something I've noticed here inside and out of the house is a lot of times we'll get K2 hits indirectly to let us know that they're here, but when we ask questions directly, they don't typically respond.
Yeah. Respond.
They just kind of are like, yeah, we're here, but we don't really want to talk.
Yeah.
And that's,
Knowledge.
we're only here for the ones who do want to talk.
Do you want me to
I'm
put
going to
this
set
on the
this
ground?
one down too. So you're free to play with any of the equipment as a way to say that you're here.
What?
That's a pretty consistent
Yeah.
hit
Yeah,
right there.
it's staying at one color.
What's interesting is it's like right here.
Yeah, it's right there.
If I go lower, it goes away.
It goes away.
Go up, stays consistent. Go up higher, goes away.
Yep.
So there's something right here
Yeah.
And it's so low to
That's-
the ground.
causing it to light up.
Yeah.
One of the things that we've noticed in a lot of our investigations here is when we start talking about elemental spirits, we get a lot more responses.
Close to the ground.
We've made some different offerings by leaving food, coins.
That's interesting.
Mine's flashing.
Now, there shouldn't really be any type of electrical interference up in these woods.
Especially since we don't have our cell phones.
Yeah, no, but
I would just say though, because it's just so consistent that it could be potentially ruled out
I'm
as
wondering
well.
if it's one of the pieces of equipment. Nope. Nope. No, it's
none
just
of-
this
it's-
one spot,
Yeah,
kind
it's
of.
none of us.
Just
and
one
it's just
spot.
right when you go to that spot.
So there's all kinds of things to think about here. You hear about ley lines,
Yeah.
which would cause energy fluctuations.
Yep.
Elemental tales. There's a rich Native American history here. So it almost feels like a vortex a lot of times when I'm
Yeah.
up here, that you never know what kind of spirit you're going to interact with.
Yeah.
So now they're
Wondering, though,
matching.
If it was a ley line, wouldn't it be stronger closer to the earth? Because as we put it down,
It goes
it
weaker.
goes away.
I hear beeping.
The temperature's dropped at least 2 degrees.
Yeah, it has.
Too.
And mine's even spiking red up here.
Yeah, I'll hit the red once in a while, but mostly like a lot of orange.
Yeah.
So let's get that box going.
Yeah, let's get
It's
that
definitely
going
wanna
down
talk to
and
us.
up at the same time too. So yeah, I say set it right there.
And sometimes, too, it'll be interesting to use the box because sometimes you get equipment, like you were saying, going off, but when you ask questions, so that could be more residual.
Yeah.
If this was a pathway for people to constantly travel, then that might be why we're getting some of the responses. So go ahead and get that started, see if somebody's willing to talk.
So we have a lot of these equipment out here. You can come talk to us through the spirit box or through any of the equipment we have.
Is everything we have, is it overwhelming for you? It sounded like it's a jellyfish.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I heard English. Like English?
Ribbit?
It did sound like it said
Is that
ribbit.
ribbon? Like, are you mimicking the frogs?
Can you tell us your name?
Lorraine?
Lorraine?
I heard Lorraine.
Can you tell us how many spirits are up here with us?
Just one?
Just one I heard.
Just one?
Just one I heard.
What's your favorite color?
Beige.
I thought I heard purple.
I heard purple whispering.
Yeah.
But in
just
that,
like a
I heard
softer
beige
girl.
too.
Does that get any louder?
Leave now.
And now I heard.
Would you like us to leave? No.
No.
Stay. I heard no one stay.
Are you okay? Do you need help?
Go.
Can
One of you tell me what year it is?
Are you the man that we see up here?
Are you lonely up here?
Run?
I heard alone.
I thought I heard Glenn.
Go. That was definitely go.
Why do you want us to go?
I heard shot.
I heard witch.
I thought it was either witch or snitch.
Which?
Witch. Who's the witch?
Said you.
Yeah.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Maybe like kind of like the Crucible times, maybe
So
English
I
period.
always, that is an interesting thing because we've also gotten somebody super religious up here before.
What is she guilty of?
What makes her guilty?
That's down to
But what if
73.
what about if I try to heal the land and I try to make this a peaceful setting? Doesn't that make me a good person?
If she's
Seconds?
I don't know what that was loud. I couldn't make out what they
loud,
were
but I
saying.
couldn't-
Well, maybe you're
It's
saying
definitely
sect, like a sect of something.
so if she's guilty, what is her punishment?
Beat.
I heard beat the first time.
Beat.
Beat.
Hit.
Pain.
Beat and hit.
Have you ever beat anyone here in these woods? Yes.
3 of them.
Is that what it's?
It's like 3.
No.
She's beat.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, there's a lot of voices coming through.
Yeah. Can we speak to one at once, please? In person.
You seem to never want to answer those questions. Why do you do those things? Why did you hurt people?
I love to. Did anybody else just hear
I
that?
was under.
I love
It
to.
was like,
I just said hurt too. Hurt. And then please, like a woman saying please.
So why you love to hurt people? Excuse me.
Unfortunately, we all know your little secrets.
Sounds guilty. Do you feel vindicated by casting judgment on others?
Did anybody hear a voice come from over
Yeah.
Yeah, because I heard somebody
Yep.
start talking.
Wait.
Wait for what?
Do you want us to go up further? Go up the hill further?
Down. Or
Or
down.
down?
Down.
Do you want us to leave?
Yes. Yeah.
Is there someone standing up
It
there?
looks like someone's standing up there, like the man again.
Do you need a flashlight?
That way.
Point at it. Flashlight?
Yeah, it looked like, so right between, see where that
Yeah, I
like
don't think it
taller,
was that
thinner
white-
tree is? No, it's not there. Where that taller, thinner tree is to
Yeah.
the left of it. That's where the
Is someone
standing.
coming down the hill right now?
I
That's not
am.
it.
I am. Can you tell me your name? This location likes to play name games.
You're right.
Why don't you ever tell me your name?
I'm lost.
Yeah, it sounded like I'm lost.
That sounded like
That
my
was
name.
her name.
There's
That was
a
Kat.
cat.
Why are you saying my name?
Buck?
No, you don't do that. You don't speak to me that way. We're here to be respectful.
What's that?
She's been growling like meow or something.
Shoot?
I had it locked in.
You did not just hear the word shoot.
I did. It said shoot.
Shoot. Maybe he's referencing all the people he's killed.
Wicked.
Well, that's the F word. What's interesting is there was a woman saying the F word.
Yeah.
Which we
Do
usually
you
get a
have an
man.
issue with Wicca?
We heard stories that there was a witch here that did some not so nice things. Is that true? Is that why you're afraid of all witches?
I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I'm being watched from all over.
Yeah, it feels like we're being circled,
Yeah.
which
I'm
is something
feeling
we
it up here.
constantly
Right up
use.
here. He's, yeah.
Yeah.
How many of you are up here?
Many.
What?
I heard many.
Are you trying to push us down the hill?
Yeah.
Do you think you can hurt us?
Turn. Person.
What keeps you here?
Fight.
See, I thought it said Mike at first.
I heard
I
Mike.
thought Mike too.
I heard a Mike.
That voice is crazy.
Yeah, that's kind of
Pretty
weird
aggressive.
sounding.
Yeah. Are you trying to frighten us?
Foot.
Foot, yeah, that's the second time I've heard foot. Booze. Do you want some whiskey or a drink? Is that maybe that'll get you
Maybe that's why you were
to be
so
friendly
angry.
with us? Did anybody hear that?
What was that?
Oh,
That sounded like a woman in trouble.
Oh no, what?
Do you know anything about the burned barn?
Ooh.
I thought I heard her say I do.
I heard do. I just, yeah.
Why are there so many secrets at Hinsdale?
It almost sounded like it was trying to say element.
That was
Elements, like
Weird.
elements or elemental.
Lise?
Who's Lisa?
We've heard drumming here before, as well as other people. Who is it that drums up here?
Me.
Okay.
Me.
Thank you for saying me. What is your name?
You?
It sounded like ilt.
it. I heard it.
Yeah.
Are you Native American? I thought it said yes faintly.
Very faintly.
We've also heard chanting up here before. Can you tell us who does the chanting?
Sounds like Ed.
I've heard whistling and flutes.
How's your grass?
Going.
Going. I like
Iron.
danger.
Rest.
Russ.
Do you want to rest? Do you want to leave this place? That was a very creepy yes.
I definitely heard someone, it literally sounded like someone did this to the tree right behind
I've
me.
heard stories about bodies being buried up here. Is that true?
It's okay to speak. You don't have to be afraid.
What about the family that was seen over the pond? Who are they? The mother, the father, and the little girl.
She ran?
Float.
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 Yes, they were floating over the pond. Can you tell us who they were?
Can we speak to that family that was seen over the pond?
Yes. Oh, I thought I heard my name very
I
clearly.
heard cat,
Yeah, I heard cat too.
like a
I heard
whisper.
cat, and then I heard happier.
Can you tell us the name of the family that was over the pond? Can you tell us your name?
I heard like breathe.
Sleep. It said sleep, 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 awake, awake, awake.
Oh, that's just interesting.
Are there non-human spirits here?
One.
One I heard.
One.
Is it an animal?
So I don't know if that could just be the temperature in general dropping, but it's down like 8 degrees since we got up here,
Yeah, down
which is a pretty quick drop. I feel colder right
Is
now.
there a spirit here called a pukwudgie?
It's a ghost.
It sounded like a
It
yes.
did sound like a yes.
That's
The
weird.
whisper
Yeah.
says no.
Yeah, that was weird sounding.
Do you like to keep people confused?
Game. Go.
Because I have a theory. When people like to try to confuse you, it's because they don't want you to have any power.
Did you just see that move?
Can you try doing that again?
I thought you played with this stick for a second,
No.
but this is a root in the
No, I
ground.
was playing with my shoelace.
It literally lifted up on this one end and went back down.
Can you try to do that again?
I wasn't the only one, right? Like you saw it too?
I thought it was like because I was moving.
Yeah, no, it literally lifted up and went back down. Who lifted up the jellyfish box?
Us.
I heard boss.
Boss, maybe, could it be like a chief?
Chief or something?
Are you trying to move the box down the hill?
No more?
Are you getting tired of the noise?
Run.
So
That almost sounded like crying.
That
She
sounded
was like
crying.
sobbing.
Do you need help?
that's my name again.
Yeah.
Why do you keep saying my name? Or are you talking about the cat that's over here? You can touch this cat.
You could touch this cat. Don't touch this cat.
I heard
touch me
like
if you
a
want.
loud knock over this way.
Do you want us to move to a different location? Will that be easier for you? Is it okay if we wrap this part up right here?
Yeah, we're gonna end this session and we're gonna move on.
Sit down.
Down.
Sit down.
Hold on.
All right, we are gonna go down, yes.
What is it that you want to tell us?
Family?
Sleep.
I think we're gonna move to a different location. You're willing to follow us?
Yeah, you can follow us down. We're gonna shut the device off. We want to thank you for communicating with us. Okay, so we're out here at the barn foundation that was uncovered. We wanted to bring you and Amanda over here to show you guys the foundation and see if we can get some activity over here.
So yesterday we did speak to what sounded like, we're not sure if it was 3 or 13-year-old boy. It sounded like there was a conversation in the background of the spirits, almost like they were very comfortable with each other. So they potentially the family that might have been over the pond. Very frequently we'd ask questions and they'd speak amongst themselves, almost as if they're kind of seeing, should we answer this, should we not?
Okay.
And at times I felt like they weren't even acknowledging that we were here.
Okay, interesting.
So,
Like we were just sitting here and they were having a family conversation.
Yeah.
Conversation like you
We're just
were
kind of like
here.
listening in. Yeah.
Okay.
I hear Ed again, Ed, which we heard a lot up in the
Yeah.
hills too.
Should we do some introductions again?
I mean, I feel like we should because you guys are new, so
Yeah, okay.
they didn't
Well,
hear you guys
You
yesterday.
go ahead, Amy.
Well, I'm Amy. I know you're probably aware of seeing me around the property. I don't normally stand over here to talk. Hi, Amy. Hi, Amy. But it's good to get a chance to meet you as well if I haven't talked to you before.
My name is Amanda. I've been here just a handful of times, and I'm really looking forward to speaking with you and finding more out about you, and I hope that you will be comfortable with me asking you questions enough that you'll give me some answers.
As you knew, I'm Becca. I was here yesterday. I would love to talk to you guys again.
And I'm Tom. I was also here. We were communicating with you yesterday and we're hoping to communicate some more.
I'm Kat. Tom and I have definitely investigated out here a few times, so you're a little familiar with us as well as yesterday. So just as always, we're here just to understand your story and be able to tell it more.
That's a great.
I thought, right before that, I thought it said, oh, great. Like it was like, oh, great.
Okay.
It's
probably
those
the
two.
man.
All right, so you're familiar with how these boxes work. People talk to you all the time through them. So anything that you want us to hear, use your voice. Let us hear you.
I do want to let Becca know that this is a different type of spirit box than the one you have.
Yeah.
So this is a spirit box enhancer type of spirit box where it has a noise gate to kind of cancel out some of the staticiness, and then it also has a reverb to kind of help enhance those voices to come through more.
Okay,
to
cool.
maybe understand a bit more.
Yeah, definitely.
They're essentially like what you would have for like their pedals,
Yeah.
music pedals.
And the other thing too is like I always feel with my equipment, especially something that I'm going to communicate with, it should have a big attachment from me on it so
Yeah.
that my energy is kind of
Connected
connected
to the equipment, so
the
they know you're-
equipment.
So I'm hearing more of that conversation that we heard in the
Yeah, there's
background
definitely-
before.
14.
14.
14. Is that how many are here? Or is that someone's age?
I hear about a little boy that was seen on the pond. And also, I know a story about the Emerson boy. Can you tell me if we're speaking to a boy?
That's me.
That's me.
Yeah.
Ethan.
Ethan? That wouldn't be. Ethan might be the other boy that's seen around here.
Yeah. Maybe with the family
13.
that was here.
Can you tell us your family's last name?
That sounded like Emerson.
Can you repeat your last name for us? I heard Ethan again, but
I'm gonna turn this up a little.
Maybe he's too young to know his last name.
Ethan, do you know your last name?
It's just.
I just said
was that
Ethan.
Wojciech?
Boychuk.
You heard it too?
I heard Wojciech.
I heard like something that sounded like Wojciech or some name
Well,
like that.
that's the family that was here that saw the spirits over the pond.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is interesting. But that's definitely what.
Maybe Ethan was the dude. It was one of the spirits that they saw on the lake, maybe, or by the
Could be.
house.
Are you the family that the Wojciech saw?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Did you connect with the Wojciechs?
Yes.
Yes.
What made you connect with them?
Cat.
Cat, I heard.
Why do you keep saying Kat's name?
She's a bitch.
Yeah, I heard that.
That's
Hey,
the man.
Don't talk about people that way, please.
I hear about a woman in white that's seen around the pond. Is she also one of the ones seen hovering over the pond?
Hovering.
Hovering.
The girl in white's name. What is it?
I heard me.
Is the woman in white part of the family that was seen on the pond? Or is she a separate person altogether?
Separate.
Separate.
Separate. Is she who needed help on the other side of the pond?
Yeah, I heard.
We're not gonna talk if you're gonna swear. That voice we're not gonna listen to. So if you wanna talk to us, choose better words.
Yeah, not today, Wilhelm.
So whoever is answering nicely, thank you. The woman in white, sometimes people think that she was also the woman from the hanging tree. Is she?
I think I keep hearing witch.
Wait. I could be going wait. Maybe it's witch. Maybe it's witch.
I'm hearing the other word.
I mean, it's very similar, so it could very well
The
be.
man's trying to come through. I personally think he's a little irritated that we're not communicating with him the way we typically do. That we're trying to get answers from other people. It's a typical response of him. He wants to be
It's
in
kind
control.
of interesting that you say that because most of the time when I'm holding investigations with other people here, I save him for last. Otherwise, that's all that seems to come through is the more aggressive spirit.
Yes.
So right now we're asking you to step back and you're probably really in your element because now you have two louder women that will confront you. So we're asking anyone that has ties to the pond to step forward and please talk to us. We heard that there might be some resting spots out here as well. Is there any truth to that? Were you laid to rest here? Dead?
Dead. Yeah.
Did you die on this property? I heard a faint yes.
I heard a faint, yeah.
It was a female.
Did you die in a fire? I did.
I did.
I did.
Did you burn down with the barn?
We heard that the barn was burned for insurance money. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? No? I know, it's not really, that's fraud. But it's usually
there-
people need money when they do that.
Were there hard times here?
It sounded like someone was starting to say, you can't.
I heard that.
got
I was
interrupted.
you can't.
Were you forced to make some poor choices because of money concerns?
They were trying to say it again. It was you can't again.
Can you finish your sentence? You can't?
Do you not want us to talk about it because you know it was wrong?
Are you embarrassed by things?
Another moment to say it to us.
You know, it's okay if you had money trouble. Nobody's judging you here. So many of us have experienced difficulties with money before.
All right, I think we're gonna wrap up the spirit box now. I want to thank you for coming through and speaking with us.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for everybody except for the man who keeps swearing.
You know the drill. When I shut this down, I'm going to count down from 3. You're more than welcome to say goodbye, but then this line of communication is done for the evening. So 1, 2, 3. It sounded like it said 3. 2, 3. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you for speaking with us.
Thank you.
All right, I think we have a lot of great things to go through and review. I actually can't wait to
interesting.
hear a lot of that back to see what we got.
I'm excited.
All right, well, thanks, you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
The investigation of the Hinsdale House has led the Decades team to believe that the property is just as active as the house. But with the evidence collected, it only adds more questions. One only has to ask, what happened at this property? What was it that tormented Amanda years ago? Are the spirits of the Native Americans that once flourished on this land still roaming the woods? What about the family that was reported by Jay Withy to be floating on the pond? What other secrets is this property holding? In true Hinsdale fashion, we are left with more questions than answers. Will we ever find the truth? Only time will tell.